Streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, 4 people are dead after a shooting in New Mexico. 2 police officers both said to be in a stable condition. And we give you some tips that you can use at the digital self-checkout kiosk, rapidly spreading across restaurants everywhere, what you need to know about tip prompts and more. Plus, we take a look at the Memorial Day travel trends. How far are people willing to drive during the holiday weekend? And road trips are trending up since last year. All that and more straight ahead.
And if you're on the road this morning around the Crossroads region, a few rain areas currently this morning. Rain chances go up later on in the day. Look at the cloudy skies there in Cuero. As a matter of fact, if you have a live camera there, seeing that in Cuero. And we'll talk about those rain chances coming up in the forecast.
We see how the Lady Flyers did in the state semifinal game against its district opponent. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain and today is the 16th day of May 2023. The time is now 6:30 on your Tuesday morning and today it is National Piercing Day. Now let's go ahead and turn to First Warn Storm Team Meteorologist Trey Mining. Trey, I have 2 piercings on each ear, but I was too little to really give consent. My mom just did it.
Yeah,
Did you get any piercings, Trey?
No, I did not. I think it's like my grandfather said, Trey, what you need is another hole in the head. So we're not even going to go there with that one. I just have the natural piercing in my nose, ears, and you figure out the rest. All right, on the outside, and of course, cloudy skies around the region this morning with a few rain showers out in the western parts of the Crossroads. Temperature is in the low 70s currently with a dew point 72 degrees. They're both together like that. That means a very high humidity. And saturation there is achieved when it is at 100%. Calm winds this morning. I think with the daytime heating, we'll get a few more. We're in a fairly good spread of rain showers and storms throughout the afternoon, in the morning and the afternoon area around here. A few rain showers currently near Goliad, very light. Also near Pettis, near the areas of Normanna as well, and B County. And maybe a few sprinkles out there in the area this morning, and not much happening on the radar. We're seeing the tropical flow coming in off the Gulf. That's the fuel for the storms, the daytime heating going. That really creates more instability in the air because the heat rises, takes the moisture with it. And still dealing with some flooding conditions on the area rivers. This is for the Vaca River, for flooding until the flooding warning lasting until your evening time on your Wednesday. Same thing for the areas just north of Edna or so. And also the Guadalupe River and the San Antonio River all beginning to crest now, pretty much have crested and beginning to slow fall. Should be in their banks coming up by Wednesday into Thursday morning. All rivers around here, barring any more significant rainfall. We'll take a look at that coming up in the full forecast to come. So get ready for that and carry an umbrella today, at least one more day to keep the rain off and keep you cool. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. A shooting in a New Mexico community has left 4 people dead, including a suspect and 2 officers injured. The shooting happened in Farmington, about 200 miles northwest of Santa Fe. Authorities confirmed that the suspect was an 18-year-old man who was confronted and killed at the scene. Both of the police officers are said to be in a stable condition. Authorities say there are no other known threats and there doesn't appear to be a second suspect. It's still unclear what led up to the shooting. Tip prompts are becoming more common at digital self-checkout kiosks. That's according to a report from the Wall Street Journal. Many customers who were asked to tip workers with whom they had no interaction with were frustrated with the prompts. The report also states that out of a half dozen customers around the U.S., some were willing to tack on the extra fee, but the majority said the tip cues were confusing and many said they were unsure where the money was going. AAA predicts that 42.3 million Americans will travel 50 miles or more from home this Memorial Day weekend, and that's a 7% increase. Memorial Day road trips are up 6% compared to last year. 37.1 million Americans will drive to their destinations, an increase of more than 2 million. More people will be taking other modes of transportation this holiday, such as buses and trains. Those travelers are expected to total 1.8 million, an increase of over 20% compared to last year. And nearly 3.4 million travelers are expected to travel to their destinations this Memorial Day, which is an 11% increase over last year. Leading us to your viewer poll. There's a QR code on the right side of your screen. Take a picture of it and you'll get a link to take part in our viewer poll. Today we want to know, do you plan to travel 50 miles or more over the Memorial Weekend holiday? Okay, let's take a look. 19% of you say yes, you're getting out of here. All right. And 81% of you say no, you're staying put. All right. Let's take a look, or actually go to crosswordstoday.com/vote to keep submitting your answer to our viewer poll. So 3 people transported to hospitals Sunday after an RV exploded at an RV dealer in Wharton. Authorities say the 3 people suffered first and second-degree burns. Wharton police report the gas stove was left on in the RV, causing the explosion. A Houston woman accused of shooting a family member in Wharton is in custody of the Wharton Police Department. 21-year-old Tamia Miles jailed on charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and possession of a firearm by a felon. We now turn to the Florida governor and likely presidential candidate Ron DeSantis and his new crackdown on college campuses against so-called diversity and inclusion programs. He's explaining a new law as he takes another step toward a possible White House campaign.
This morning, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis appears to be just days from officially jumping into the 2024 presidential race. A source says his team is telling donors to expect a gathering in Miami next week, coinciding with the campaign launch around Memorial Day. It comes as DeSantis signs a new bill into law prohibiting state colleges in Florida from spending money on diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, also known as DEI programs.
DEI is better viewed as standing for discrimination, exclusion, and indoctrination.
The law also says state college courses cannot include a curriculum that teaches identity politics or teach theories that systemic racism, sexism, oppression, and privilege are inherent in the institutions of the United States.
Florida's getting out of that game. If you want to do things like gender ideology, go to Berkeley.
Meanwhile, a Florida teacher says she's now under investigation by the state's education department for showing her 5th grade students the Disney movie Strange World, which features a character who is gay. Jenna Barbie says she showed her students the movie as it relates to earth science and received permission slips from parents. But according to Barbie, a parent, who's also a member of the school board, reported her to the state. Florida lawmakers last year enacted what critics call the Don't Say Gay law, banning classroom discussion on sexual orientation and gender identity in kindergarten through 3rd grade. Barbie says she wasn't aware that lawmakers recently expanded the ban through 12th grade.
I didn't even know it was a big deal until it was brought to my attention. These students all have one-to-one devices. They talk about these things all the time. I've shut down much worse in class.
Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Senate Bill 896 is making its way through the Texas legislature, and free speech advocates are sounding the alarm. SB 896 could change the way Texas protects you, businesses, and news organizations like 25 News Now from trivial lawsuits when it comes to free speech. The Texas Citizens Participation Act, known as Anti-SLAPP laws, protects people who speak out on matters of public concern and keeps them from getting sued. SB 896 revises the act. The House has until May 23rd to put SB 896 on the calendar for a second reading. After that, the Senate would vote on it, and it could end up on the governor's desk. The time is now 6:37 on your Tuesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. Newly elected Victoria Police Chief Chuck Young sworn into office Monday.
The president is set to host top congressional leaders for a second round of debt ceiling talks later today, as the Treasury Secretary warns the country could be weeks away from running out of cash to cover its debts. I'm ABC's Justin Finch with the latest from Washington.
Now the outside temperatures in the 70s this morning, 260s way up north, Gonzales to Nixon. Near 80 degrees along the immediate coast. A few rain showers in our western counties today. I think the rain shower and thunderstorm chances will be about 50% around the region today, so there's a good chance you'll get wet. Carry your umbrella with you. The rest of the forecast coming up a little bit later on. Good morning, 20 minutes away from the 7 a.m. hour. And let's take a look at the future tracker and what's causing our weather here. Well, we have tropical moisture over the Gulf of Mexico, keeping us very warm and humid. Have that in place, of course, some daytime heating going on. And a boundary still to the north. Stationary front's been over the state of Texas for the last several days. But it's finally going to get the push it needs from the high pressure to the north. That'll ridge in, push this front offshore, coming up for your Wednesday into your Thursday, and giving us some drying conditions around here with high pressure in place. So with the rain's coming to an end, and once the dry air works in, more sunshine, that means we'll be hotter during the day, definitely as we go toward the middle part of the week. So let's take a look at this right here for today, plan by day. Port Lavaca, 71 degrees, 7 a.m. 12 noon, could be a rain shower storm in your area, Port Lavaca, Calhoun County, 80 degrees, and temperatures are 80 degrees at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, with the risk of a rain shower storm in our region here. For Port Lavaca especially, Calhoun County, carry that umbrella and be safe out there. Your full forecast comes around again later on this half hour. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Trey. The St. Joseph Lady Flyers reached the end of the road. Here's 25 News Now Sports Director Gino Perez with the details.
At Crossroads, the St. Joseph Lady Flyers softball season comes to an end late last night. The Lady Flyers got off to a rocky start as they allowed a home run in the first inning to go down 3-0. St. Joseph did scratch a run in the third inning, but the Panthers kept adding to the lead, making it 6-1. The Lady Flyers had a big fifth inning to maybe come back, including an Aliana St. Jean home run, but the Lady Flyers fall 9-4 to the district rivals in Hyde Park. Yet another champion is coming back to the Crossroads after the Elite Challenge in Irving. Local gymnast Jaden McCarter was dominant. She finished in first place after the preliminaries. Heading into the finals, she had a 3-point lead. She would hold on and extend the lead with her next few jumps to go up by 4 points, meaning she is the 2023 Level 10 Elite Challenge champion. And this is not her first gold medal of the year. This is her second gold medal in the month of May. She also won the Region 3 championships, where she won the championship in trampoline and double mini. That's your 25 Sports Now.
Thank you, Gino. We want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and on your cell phone. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. A major meeting on the Washington agenda this morning. The president and top House and Senate leadership are set for debt ceiling talks today as the leaders prepare for their second face-to-face. The Treasury Secretary is doubling down on her warnings that the U.S. is at high risk of defaulting in less than 3 weeks if the debt limit showdown continues.
In the run-up to round 2 of debt ceiling talks, the president and the House Speaker offering opposing views on their progress.
I really think there's a desire on their part as well as ours to reach agreement. I think we'll be able to do it.
President Biden says that you made progress. Are you too far apart?
No, the negotiations themselves, there's nothing moved.
Before agreeing to raise the debt limit, Speaker McCarthy is insisting the White House cut trillions in federal spending.
We've made it plain to our Republican colleagues that default is not an option. Its consequences are too damaging, too severe.
Staffers for the president, the speaker, and top congressional Democrats have held ongoing meetings since those leaders held face-to-face talks last week. Today, the leadership is set to meet again. Sources say they're reviewing proposals that would claw back unspent COVID funds, streamline regulations for new energy projects, and impose stricter work requirements for certain federal aid programs. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen firing off another warning this week, saying that any further delay could leave the U.S. unable to pay its bills as soon as June 1st. Yellen noting that could cause severe hardship to American families, harm our global leadership position, and raise questions about our ability to defend our national security interests. The U.S. defaulting on its debts could halt Social Security payments, leave troops unpaid, and by one forecast, leave nearly 8 million people out of work. Secretary Yellen also cautioning that even an 11th hour deal could risk serious harm to U.S. business and consumer confidence, raise short-term borrowing costs, and threaten the U.S. credit rating. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Newly elected Victoria Police Chief Chuck Young sworn into office Monday. Young has served as a City of Victoria's Deputy Police Chief since 2021. Young's career started back in 1980 when he joined the Dallas Police Department, where he rose to the rank of Major.
There's a lot of goals that we need to do. The crime reduction is a big thing. Back to the community. Our community engagement is strong as it is. I want to make that stronger.
He recently earned the Victoria Police Department's Leadership Award for contributions and advancements toward the department. The time is now 6:45 on your Tuesday morning. Still to come, authorities investigating after 6 people were shot during a gathering in an Indiana parking lot.
And good morning once again. Future rain totals today, well, they'll be fairly widespread, maybe half an inch or so before it's all said and done at best, probably along the coast and areas to the north. So one more little chance of getting some fairly decent rainfall today, at least half an inch or a quarter of an inch, and then we'll cut the rain off. Nothing much happening out there. Cloudy skies, a few rain showers there near Pettis Pony area and Beeville. And get the day going with the daytime heat. I think it'll be a pretty good widespread coverage of rain showers and storms today. Some of those producing some brief heavy rainfall. Not looking for any severe weather though. 84 degrees today. Scattered thunderstorms throughout the day, 50% chances. Overnight lows will be 68 degrees, cloudy skies, a few scattered rain showers maybe in the morning. And then for your day tomorrow, much drier, hotter, 86 degrees. A few isolated rain showers, dropping the rain chances down to 20% as you see right there. And the rest of the time period in the upper 80s to near 90. Heat is on right on through the rest of the week to the weekend, with lows near 70 degrees. Be careful out there. Take your umbrella today.
And now for today's question of the day, we want to know, What are the most popular types of wood used to barbecue meat? Like us on Facebook. Crossroads Today. Post your guess to today's question. We'll have the answer later on Sunrise. Authorities investigating after 6 people were shot during a large gathering in an Indiana parking lot. Officials say someone opened fire as a large crowd gathered in Anderson early Sunday morning. Police believe an altercation happened before the shooting. They say one victim was found at the scene with an injury to their leg. They were taken to the hospital and was at last check in a stable condition. According to police, 5 other victims checked themselves into the hospital with minor injuries. They were treated and released. Police have not released any names, but they say the victims were mostly teens between the ages of 14 and 21. Investigators reportedly identified persons of interest in the shooting, but no arrests have been made. Still to come on Sunrise News to know before you go. Allies of Mike Pence have reportedly launched a super PAC in support of his potential presidential run. Much discussion on our Facebook page about
I know, yes,
the
it's got a lot of
correct
responses.
answer to this question. So let's just go ahead and share the answer.
Okay.
Well, but first, the question is,
oh yes,
what are the most popular types of wood used to barbecue meat? All in honor of Barbecue Day.
it's National Barbecue Day. Eat some barbecue. I tell you what, I could smell that barbecue already. We're looking for the answer here. Of course, it is hickory and mesquite. All right. Thanks for everybody for chiming in on this one. Eat the barbecue for us today, and we'll be here tomorrow with another great question of the day to get you going for your Wednesday.
Allies of former Vice President Mike Pence have reportedly launched a super PAC in support of his possible 2024 presidential run. It brings Pence one step closer to announcing a formal presidential bid and would put him against his former boss, Donald Trump, for the GOP nomination. Pence's fractured relationship with Trump since he certified the 2020 election has turned some of Trump's base against Pence. Pence told news sources in an interview last week that he expects to announce a decision on his presidential bid before the end of June. The Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine is no longer available in the U.S. That's according to the CDC. All remaining doses expired last week, and providers have been directed to dispose of any they had left over. Nearly 19 million Americans received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. That is compared to 367 million who received Pfizer's original vaccine and the 232 million who got Moderna's. In April of 2021, the CDC and the FDA recommended pausing the use of the J&J vaccine after it was linked to a rare blood clot disorder. Now that the COVID-19 public health emergency has ended in the U.S., the Moderna and Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines remain free as long as federal supplies last. Victoria police arrested a man who now faces 8 charges, including kidnapping. Authorities say he abducted his one-year-old child in the 1400 block of Melrose Avenue on Sunday. The suspect and child were found in the 4300 block of Halsey Street. The man is an ex-boyfriend to the mother of the child. The police had to use a taser to subdue the suspect. Authorities say he had a knife and he was taken to the hospital. The child was returned to the mother. The suspect's name was not released. The City of Victoria closed more areas of Riverside Park Monday. The Texas Zoo and Riverside Golf Course remained open and accessible through Staten Avenue and Memorial Drive at the south end of the park. Workers will monitor the weather and river levels. Residents should not try to enter the barricaded areas. A complete list of closures at Crossroads Today is at crossroadstoday.com. And here are the current river flood warnings posted for the Crossroads from the National Weather Service. In Victoria County, a river flood warning in effect until late Friday morning for the Guadalupe River at Victoria. And in Victoria and Calhoun counties, a river flood warning in effect until further notice for the Guadalupe River near Bloomington. And in Victoria, Calhoun and Goliad counties, a river flood warning in effect until early Wednesday morning at the San Antonio River at Goliad. And in DeWitt County, a river flood warning in effect until this evening for Sandys Creek near Westoff. And in DeWitt County, a river flood warning in effect until this evening for the Guadalupe River in Cuero. And in Lavaca and Jackson counties, a river flood warning in effect until Wednesday morning for the Navidad River at Morales. And in Lavaca and Jackson counties, a river flood warning in effect until early this afternoon for the Navidad River near Speaks. In Jackson County, a river flood warning in effect until Wednesday afternoon for the Navidad River at Strain Park. And in Jackson County, a river flood warning in effect until early Thursday morning for the Lavaca River near Edna. All right, we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and on your cell phone. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. I want to take a final look at our viewer poll. Today we asked, do you plan to travel 50 miles or more over the Memorial Weekend holiday? Okay, let's take a look. 21% of you said yes, and 79% of you said, nope, you're gonna stay home. Okay, well, there's lots of fun things that are gonna happen that weekend here in Victoria. Let's go ahead and check in with First Warn Storm Team Meteorologist Trey Marning. Trey, how's that weather looking? It's looking a little bit quieter than last week around this time, Trey.
Exactly, we're starting to kind of quiet down in our forecast here. Today, though, not so loud, but not so quiet either. We're seeing a few rain showers here and there this morning and extending into the afternoon time, 50% chance. Then the chances go down tomorrow as the front moves through and high pressure ridges in. So today, 84 degrees, scattered thunderstorm, 50% chance. Carry that umbrella. Overnight low, be about 68 degrees, cloudy skies, a few rain showers and storms possible. Then tomorrow, more sunshine, hot temperatures, 86, 87 degrees, a few isolated rain showers. And we heat up and the rain goes away the rest of the end of the middle and latter half of the week through the weekend. Overnight lows near 70 degrees. So carry an umbrella today, make it a great day, and stay cool, everybody. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey, and thank you for joining us. Remember, those river Water levels will remain high in our area until Friday, so don't let those clear skies fool you. Come to crossroadstoday.com for more local news, weather, and sports, and join us tonight for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. Make it a fantastic Tuesday.